Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sisternomics. My name is Monique Caradine Kitchens, and I am so glad that you are here today. If you are watching us live on Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube, welcome. Please get ready to leave your comments and leave your name and say hi so I can give you a shout out today. I'm really super excited about today's recording, today's show, because today we're going to talk about how women of color owned businesses can get the funding and the capital that they need to really make their dream a reality. If you're an early startup business, if you're new in the entrepreneurial game and you know you have a huge dream in your heart, and as I think as women entrepreneurs, just one of the general characteristics that all of us have is that we are resourceful, right? We know how to get things done. We can make a way out of no way, right? And I think a lot of times we tend to kind of roll with that mindset. We just do whatever we have to do to grow our businesses and make our businesses survive. But I think one of the things that 2020 really taught us is that, things can go left really, really quickly. And that while, of course, we are resourceful and we know how to make a way out of no way, why not put ourselves in a position where we can leverage and access the funding that is truly available to help us thrive? Did you know, I'm going to drop a couple of statistics on you. I don't know if you guys knew this, but every single day in this country, about 1,800 businesses are started by women. And then on top of that, check this out, 89% of those are started by women of color. But it is extremely difficult for those businesses, those started by women of color, to get the funding that they need. So ladies, today is a new day. If you've been a listener or a viewer of Sisternomics, today is a new day because we're all about how you can make more money, save more money, build a foundation and a legacy of wealth so that you can go out here and build great businesses and do great things in this world. And this is why I'm so excited for today, because today, if you are one of those businesses that has self-funded, you don't have to do it that way, sis. There are platforms and opportunities out there for you to get the funding that you need. So raise your hand if your business could benefit from some funding, right? If so, raise your hand. Go ahead and raise your hand, y'all. If this is you, I'm so excited because today we have the creator and general manager of iFundWomen of Color, and she is the amazing Olivia Owens.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me. Excited to be here.
Super, super excited to have you. Glad that you took time out of your busy schedule to join us today because this is such an important topic, especially today. I think that 2020 taught us a lot, as I said before. And one of the things it did is it brought to light the inequity of funding as it relates to women-owned businesses. So take us back, give us a kind of a snapshot of why you created this fund and what were some of the turning point moments that happened for you in your life and your career that brought you to this moment.
Sure. So iFundWomen is the go-to funding marketplace for women-owned businesses and the people who want to fund them. And we provide access to capital through crowdfunding grants, expert business coaching on all the topics entrepreneurs need to know about. And then we also have a community where entrepreneurs are able to connect with each other. And to back up a little bit to how I got to iFundWomen, my mom's an entrepreneur. I watched her run her business for the majority of my life and watched her struggle to access capital to be able to grow and scale in the way that she's looking to. And it wasn't until she found iFundWomen that she was able to raise the $30,000 that she needed to push her business further and gain a ton of learnings about where this business needed to go to really achieve scale. And so ultimately, with iFundWomen, I was the first hire outside of the co-founding team and have been coaching women entrepreneurs on crowdfunding since day one. And I recognized a deeper hesitation towards actually executing a crowdfunding campaign when coaching women of color entrepreneurs. we would show up to the workshops, participate in the sessions, but actually launching the campaigns, we saw this play out in the data. While women of color represented 70% of the women in our community, they only represented 30% of the funds being raised. And so we launched iFundWomen of Color in partnership with Caress in January of 2020 to address a disparity that was playing out on our platform. And we said, not on our watch. And so when it comes to the deeper hesitation, it was a product of crowdfunding requires you to leverage your network to raise funds. And if you don't feel like you have a network that you can turn to, it can feel like an inaccessible tool. And then there's also a certain level of vulnerability that comes with crowdfunding, making that ask, which isn't necessarily a muscle that we as women of color have had the luxury to flex. And so through this platform, that's exactly the work that we're doing. We're learning how to make the ask. We're learning how to leverage each other to get our businesses further faster. And proud to share that in our first year, we were able to move the cumulative funding volume for women of color on our platform. Women of color now represent 51% of the funds raised on iFundWomen, and just really, really proud of the impact that we've been able to create and where we're going next.
Wow, that is fantastic. Congratulations on so much success. You mentioned something that really resonated with me, and that is that when business owners are crowdfunding, what comes with that is a lot of things, right? But also what comes with it is a level of vulnerability that you have to have, right? Can you talk a little bit more about the mindset that we as women of color entrepreneurs have to adopt, or some of the mental hurdles that we have to overcome to put ourselves in a position to receive funding and capital and to do all these crowdfunding things? Because as you heard me say in the intro, listen, we're used to figuring things out. So we just kind of fall into that. What kind of mindset do we need to bring to this type of platform to get the funding that we really truly need?
Absolutely. I think that familiarity with putting the team on your back and pushing through is something that we are super familiar with. But what crowdfunding forces you to do is say, I don't have to do it on my own. I'm actually going to turn to my community and ask for their support. And I think there are a lot of things that tie into that fear of hearing no. When it comes to entrepreneurship, one thing I can guarantee you is that you're going to hear no, not just once, but many times. So getting comfortable with that. I think there's also this scarcity fallacy where we feel like, oh, well, if we have something, we have to keep it close to our vest. We can't bring too many people in, or we're going to lose the opportunity. But the reality is the way that the other systems are working is people are leveraging each other to get further faster. And if we are able to open up that access to each other, it's going to help us push forward. And then I think the other piece is in making the ask is recognizing that the value that we have to offer is enough. It doesn't need to be rooted in some type of charity opportunity or asking for donations. Like, you are selling your products and services in exchange for cash, and that's enough. So those are some of the things.
That is enough. Knowing your worth in this space is so important. Not just your worth, but also the worth of the solution that you're bringing into the marketplace. And I love what you said. I heard in one interview, you talked about how crowdfunding is the perfect opportunity, especially for newer businesses. Any business can really leverage this type of way to build capital. But crowdfunding is really powerful because it really gives you a sense of the demand for your solution, right? Or respond to it. Can you unpack that a little bit more, Olivia?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think first and foremost, level setting. So the reality is only 1% of companies, regardless of the gender of the founder, raise venture capital. Of that 1%, women receive 2.6% of the venture capital dollars invested. Black and Latinx women only receive 0.64%. And so when we're comparing ourselves to the articles that are going out where so-and-so raised X millions of dollars, that's the minority, not the majority. So I think level setting from there is really important. And then I think the other piece of it is you're going to leverage multiple types of funding sources. through the journey of your business, but you have to start somewhere. We know that the majority of startups fail, so we're all about failing fast and failing cheap. And crowdfunding truly is a low risk, debt free way to test out your idea before you're spending thousands of your own dollars, before you're spending years and years of your life to put it out there and see not only are people interested in this thing, but are they willing to pay for it? That's how you know you have a business. People want to pay for the product or service that you're offering. And crowdfunding also removes that expectation of instant gratification. It's not Amazon 2-day shipping. People know when they're investing in your crowdfunding campaign, they're in the future something existing. So it gives you that flexibility that you need. If you have a clothing line that you're looking to put out there, you can pre-sell it. And then once you have the funds in pocket, you can go and invest and bring it to life. And that is the safest way to run your business, not going into debt.
And what better way to do that in a community where you're surrounded by other women who look like you, women of color, who are at a point where they're like, hey, world, I'm here. I'm ready to take my business to the next level. I want to show the video, Olivia, if we can, just to show the people like some examples of some of the women who have benefited from iFundWomen of Color. And then we'll come back on the other side of the video and talk a little bit about how the women watching can leverage this platform. Let's do it. Here we go.
iFundWomen changes things.
My name is Frankisha Watkins, and I'm the owner of Be Polished Beauty Supply.
I'm the founder and CEO of Magic Polygon.
I, Melanie, decided to do something about it, and House of Lilac was born.
And I believe that iFundWomen is the exact tool that I needed at the time.
But with all the tools that iFundWomen provides, gives you a logical way of approaching your crowdfunding campaign.
iFundWomen was an easy, simple way for me to commit myself to experts who could help me get through the process.
I'm raising money on iFundWomen because they empower women to be successful.
So with your help, I'm building it.
I'm raising money on iFundWomen.
iFundWomen. We are raising money on iFundWomen to open a combined beauty space.
To hire one more developer and illustrator.
We created a page on iFundWomen, a platform designed to help female-led businesses raise money. You can help us reach our funding goal by making financial contributions to our campaign page.
Through iFundWomen, it can be a reality.
Love it, love it. The whole vibe is just exciting. I work with so many women entrepreneurs, Olivia, and I just cannot wait for them to get their hands on this juicy stuff that you created. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So let's talk about, if you could walk us through kind of step by step. I know it's super easy, but for those listening, they're saying, oh my goodness, I want in. How do they get in on this?
Absolutely. So you can apply to iFundWomen of Color at ifundwomen.com/WOC. And you'll get into the community. You'll be able to connect with other women of color entrepreneurs navigating this journey, whether they're at the same stage as you, they're a little bit ahead of you. We're really big on the peer-to-peer coaching. We did a research report with Caress at the beginning of the year on the state of women of color-owned businesses, and a large percentage of entrepreneurs were able to turn to their community and their support system as their survival tool through the pandemic. And so we have a pre-built community that you're able to step into. And then we have the tools and resources you need to learn how to crowdfund for your business and set yourself up for success. We have what we call the iFundWomen method, which are the 4 steps that we take entrepreneurs through in advance of launching a crowdfunding campaign. One of the biggest mistakes we see entrepreneurs make is just putting a campaign up there and expecting the magical money elves to come and sprinkle money into your campaign. Unfortunately, there are no such things as magical money elves. And so we're able to coach you through what's the pitch for how you're pitching this to your network. Who is your network? I think your network is often this cerebral thing that just lives in your head, but putting pen to paper on what's the size of my network and who's in it? What are the gaps that exist in my network that I might need to fill? And then we talk about your reward strategy, which are just the products, services, content, experiences that you're selling in exchange for cash for your business. And then it's your marketing strategy. It can take 5 to 7 touches to get somebody to actually convert. And so figuring out what those 5 to 7 touches are going to be to get those people to invest in your crowdfunding campaign. And that's how we do it.
That sounds so cool. All right, so people can go right now to the website. I'm going to put it up on the screen in a second and start to really get a good feel of who's out there already leveraging this platform. I have just on the screen, I just took a screenshot, Olivia, of some of the amazing women of color owned businesses that are already there. And I mean, just look, you see that they're getting funded for their businesses. And some of them, I noticed that some of them have exceeded funding beyond their initial goal to receive far more than what they had envisioned. And so obviously what you created, and I applaud you for this, you and your team, is this amazing platform where women can know, where they can go rather, and know that if they follow the steps and the guidance that your team gives, that they can get the funding that they need. And this is just one piece of funding. Like, you don't have to stop here, right? You do the crowdfunding thing, you get to that next level, you get the things in place that you need, and then you go and you try to seek more funding from other means, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So there are many things. So you can run multiple crowdfunding campaigns. We see people do that. We also have amazing partners like Caress who offer grants through iFundWomen. If you head to iFundWomen.com/grants, you can be in the know of the different grant programs that we offer. Caress did an amazing COVID-19 relief grant program last year where they provided $500K in grant funding to 200 women of color on our platform. We're also running the Caress Dreams to Reality Fund program right now, where we're taking 2 cohorts of 150 women of color through the iFundWomen method. They got coaching scholarships as well to help them prep, launch, and execute successful crowdfunding campaigns. If you head to iFundWomen.com/Caress, you can check out those businesses that are actively crowdfunding fund a woman doing business through this program. And Caress was the first funder of their campaign with the grant. So grants are another amazing funding resource, and it's thanks to amazing partners like Caress who understand the importance of investing in women of color entrepreneurs that are opening up alternative funding sources as well.
I love that Caress partnered with you. Talk about how that partnership with this, 30 plus year old beauty brand, how that came about. That's huge.
Absolutely huge. We are very, very proud to call Caress the founding partner of iFundWomen of Color. And really it's a testament to mission alignment. I'll never forget in our first conversation, just when they were sharing their brand missions and their purpose, it was so aligned with what we set out to do with iFundWomen of Color. They understood the importance of supporting women of color entrepreneurs. And it was much less about the why and much more about the how of how we could bring this all together. And obviously with the pandemic, we had to quickly pivot our partnership, and they were ready to pivot right with us to make the immediate impact that we knew our community needed. And I think that in any type of partnership, it's that mission alignment that's really going to ground you and allow you to create some amazing creative solutions to support your aligned mission.
Mm-hmm. Love it, love it, love it. So the website, I have it on the screen, iFundWomen.com. Is there any other information that folks need to know? Do they just need to get to this website and then kind of go from there?
Yeah, so if you go to iFundWomen.com, there is a link on the top that says Start Your Journey, which is a little quiz that you can take to help you get an understanding of where am I at with my business and what are the best resources that iFundWomen has to offer that can help me out. We do free workshops throughout the week on all the topics that you can think about, from setting up your Shopify to Google Sheets 101 to building an email marketing list. We also have our Slack community, which you can join for free and get connected to other women entrepreneurs. And then again, if you go to iFundWomen.com/WOC, that's where you'll find the iFundWomen of Color application to get into the community and get started.
Love it. Well, thank you so much for all this outstanding work that you're doing and for supporting us as women entrepreneurs. I started my entrepreneurial journey, Olivia, 18 years ago, and had no idea about any of this type of stuff. I don't even think it existed back then. But now, those of you who are starting, is this just for for people just starting out, or can people come in at any stage?
People really can come in at any stage. All of our tools and resources are really about the entrepreneurial journey. And again, like there are businesses who have been in business for 5-7 years who are crowdfunding. So it's definitely something to check out no matter where you are in your journey. And the resources that we have are for everyone.
Awesome. Olivia, thank you so much. Really
Thank
appreciate the
you.
work that you guys are doing. Big ups to Caress for supporting women of color owned businesses. We appreciate you guys for that. Y'all not just making us look good and feel good, but y'all helping support our businesses. Big ups. We appreciate it. Real talk. So thank you, Olivia, so much for coming on Sisternomics. It's been great to have you here today.
Thank you.
My pleasure. All right, you guys, listen, iFundWomen.com/WOC. But just go, here's the website. Just go there, start there, get familiar with it, take a look at where you are in your business, see what they have to offer, and make sure that, here's what I want to say. The reality is that so many of us have started businesses that we're not really treating like businesses. I mean, I see it all the time, right? And so what I'm inviting all of us to do is to really stop treating your business like a hobby and begin to really treat it like a business. Because if almost 2,000 women of color, almost 2,000 women are starting businesses daily, the vast majority of those are women of color. But the statistics show, as I said earlier, that most of those businesses don't get the funding that they need. And very few of them get to the 6-figure mark, let alone the 7-figure mark. And so if you're serious about taking your business from being a hobby or a side hustle, right, and you really want to turn it into a business that will have the longevity that you need, that will allow you to scale at the level that you want to scale, so that that business will be there long after you and be able to benefit and impact the community with the solutions that you provide, and then even go beyond your imagination. This is how you start. You don't have to bootstrap everything. We don't have to self-fund, sis. There is money available for us. And I'm so glad that iFundWomen is one of those platforms that we can go to and really leverage crowdfunding and really get the feedback and the reaction and get the market demand that may or may not exist. Get a feel for the market demand that may or may not exist for your business. It's a powerful platform. I'm so grateful that they were able to share with us today, and even more grateful that this big, huge brand, Caress, saw fit to support us. So go to the website, iFundWomen.com, link up with Olivia Owens. She is an advocate for us. And as always, you guys, I thank you so much for joining me here on Sisternomics. This is the place where, if you're looking to make more money, save money, eliminate debt, build your own economy on your terms, right? You ready to finally start that business? It's crazy out here in these COVID streets. But if you're ready to finally start that business and you want to do it right out the gate, check out iFundWomen.com, okay? Listen, that's it for today. I'm so glad that you joined me. My name is Monique Caradine Kitchens, and this is Sisternomics. You can always catch us on the audio version, which is, always extended. We add a little bit extra, seasoning and ingredients to the audio version. So you can check us out wherever you get your on-demand content, and of course on Instagram and Twitter as well. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Monique Caradine, signing out. Thanks for all your comments. Thank you, everybody. And thank you, Tracy Weathers. I see you out there, girl. Big ups, shout out. And I'll see you guys back here the next time right here on Sisternomics. Take care, everybody.